Hello, all my Coral fans, and thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Robert Corey, and this is Coral the Curious Octopus. And so a little bit about my channel. Brand new, first video, so thank you for being here. And these videos are going to serve as a catalog of my journey of how I go about writing and illustrating and producing my children's book line, Coral the Curious Octopus. So if you found yourself here, you could follow me on social media as well as here on YouTube. What do they say? Hit the like and subscribe and the bell. Do that, don't do that. I just appreciate you watching my video. So you could also find me on the internet. Coralsreef.art is my webpage, and that's more or less a bio and some of my art. And then you can find me on Facebook, Coral the Curious Octopus. And you can follow me, RJ Corey, Robert Corey, however you find me. You can find me on Amazon, and that's where my books are shared with the world. So you could search RJ Corey. You'll find all of my books. You could follow Coral the Curious Octopus on Amazon. I have an Instagram, and there's some stuff that goes there, and I have a TikTok, and a little bit of stuff goes there, but you could follow me. And so who am I, and why am I on YouTube? So I am, again, Robert Corey, and I'm a children's book author, and I am sharing my journey of how I go about writing my children's book series. And so these videos are going to start off with my third book. I have two books published, Coral the Curious Octopus. Coral's Reef is her first book, and then Coral the Curious Octopus, Coral Meets Crunch, and that's the second book, both published in 2019, and with more books to come. I've really focused on my art and have a different way of doing my art style, so there's about 4 additions to those 2 books, but I'm continuing on with book 3. And that's what these first videos are going to kind of serve as a follow along, kind of a let's draw, kind of a answer question. If you guys have questions of how I do what I do, that's what this is here for, is to share my journey and how I go about doing it. So I'm going to go over a little bit about my book first. Coral the Curious Octopus, Coral's Reef, my first book, shows an origin story of Coral and who she is and what kind of world she's born into, and what does it take to kind of clean up her ocean. She's born into a little coral reef, and she has a lot of siblings and eggs and everything. And as she wishes them goodbye, she's introduced to her new surroundings and kind of finds that her ocean home is a real kind of trashy one due to humans, or as she refers them to, the ones above the waves. And she quickly learns that most people do not care about the ocean. And I'd really like that to change, and that's kind of why I write my stories. And so her first book is more about a book of self-reliance and overcoming some obstacles and cleaning up her ocean and teaching some eco-friendly behaviors. And then her book leaves off at the end of her following a rock, and then the second book picks up right with that rock falling, and it falls on a little crab's head, and that's Crunch. And in nature, coral, a blue-ringed octopus, and a little crab would never get along, but coral would never hurt anything. She'd never hurt a plankton. And she is a vegetarian, and so she's, I like to call it a kelpitarian, and she loves kelp, but this little crab and her have an interaction, and they quickly become best friends, and they solve the problem of the falling rocks, and in a very cute and fun way. And my books are designed to be picture books for a younger age, maybe second grade at the oldest, but they're really big. So they're about the size of a sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. So they're meant to be opened up nice and wide and shared with the child, so they could see the full art that I've put a lot of work into. And so those are both available in paperback on the Amazon Marketplace. And then my third book is going to be the same size, but it's going to be hardbound. So it's going to be a little bit longer than the 30-ish pages. It's going to be about 75, 76 pages long, because that's Amazon's requirement to have that many pages in order for it to be a hardbound book. And so that's what I've always dreamed my books to be, is a nice hardbound book. And these videos are going to share how I go from basically point A to a finished product, point Z, of a finished product. And hopefully I could share with you a book in my hands at the end of this journey, hopefully sometime by the end of February and March. So I'm going to try to do this in this month, and just have a book towards the first part of March. About 2 to 3 videos. They'll have to be edited out. Some longer videos when I do illustrations, but weekly, I'd like to get as many videos as I can. And so who am I? Again, Robert Corey. I am been married to my wonderful wife, Dawn, for almost 26 years now, and we have 4 beautiful, wonderful children, and they are all part of our lives. 2 of them are grown, and they work very hard, but they're close by, and I get to see them a lot. And my 2 younger children, my girls, they're in the house, and it's kind of quiet now. This place is normally loud. And my future videos, they'll be here, and I will introduce them to you, and my story with them. And I'm 50 years old. I just turned 50, and I work really hard. I work a lot, and I still have time to write and illustrate children's books. So that's kind of this journey, is to share that. I've talked to a lot of people and say, oh, I always wanted to write a book or write a children's book or do something like that, and I never found the time. Well, I did, and I work 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs, and I attend my church, and I have other things going on in my kids' lives, and I still did it. And so these videos are going to share with you how you can do it. There's last I looked, there's only 24 hours in a day. So I never found any extra time. At the end of the day, oh, look, I didn't find an extra hour or anything. I carved out an hour. And sometimes that's sacrifice, sometimes it's compromise, sometimes it's working with your loved ones and making that time to happen, because I can tell you there's nothing like holding your book in your hand and saying, I created this, or I created a portion of this, or whatever that looks like for you. And I want that for you. So if you're following me along, that's what these videos are really intended for, is if you're a working parent, a mom or dad, and you have a lot going in your life, but you always wanted to share your story. That's what these are meant to kind of be a guide for. And also kind of keeping me honest to some goals that I set, because it's been since 2019 since I published anything new. And so where have I been for, the last 3.5 years? So I've perfected my craft. Perfection is a weird word, but I'm happy with where it is. Is there always room for improvement? Of course. But there's got to be a time where you just say, okay, this is good enough, even if it's not perfect. As an artist, it's hard to say that this is perfect and be happy, because I still look at my book and I still see areas of improvement. That might be a struggle for you. It has been for me, and I'm getting over it. So my product, my 3rd book, is going to be the best that I can put out there. I know what I'm doing art-wise. I know what I'm doing story-wise. And you get to be a part of that if you follow me along. Let's see, what else? I'm going to cover everything. My story, how I came about that story. And I'm going to cover how I organize that. It's called storyboarding, is what people call it. And then there's editing, self-editing, getting it to some other people's hands, and you don't have to pay for that. You can, you don't have to. And then keeping yourself honest and setting realistic guidelines of timelines of how is this going to get done. So that's what my future videos are going to be. So please stay tuned. I'm going to really try to get as many out as I can. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so I don't know if I'm doing any of this right. So it's a learning process for me. I don't have a professional studio. Like I'm filming on my camera or on my phone. I don't have a professional setup. It's on a tripod. That's the only reason why it looks still. And that was free. So if you have any questions, please use the comment section. That's what it's there for. Reach out to me on social media. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And I appreciate anybody following me and following along with the story. And really, I appreciate you guys for being here. And look forward to the next video in the next couple of days. Bye.